Live, hopefully on both YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, telling everybody this week's deals revealed, top restaurant news, sales, listings, and franchise opportunities from We Sell Restaurants, the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm. I'm Robin Gagnon.
And I'm Rob Morrison. And boy, time does fly.
Yeah.
When you're doing deals. We are, of course, bringing you the biggest deals of the week. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, or even join our brand as a franchisee, this is absolutely the place to be.
So much restaurant news. We're going to talk about that. Sales, listings, insider tips on what's moving the market. So drop your questions in the comments and we'll answer them live.
Absolutely. If you're watching live, say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you're catching the replay, just type replay so we know that you stopped by.
Ready to go?
Yes, indeed. I know you have a lot to talk about.
All right. What's happening in the restaurant marketplace? Here are the top insights of the week. Perfect. First off, of course, the restaurant resale market. It's becoming more selective, Rob.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the first half of 2026. According to this report you just produced for us and everyone else, delivering an important message for restaurant buyers and sellers too, of course. National transaction volume declining and the median price falling to $205,000 doesn't necessarily mean, I guess, that buyers are disappearing or that strong restaurants suddenly are losing their value. So what does it mean?
Well, here's what we gleaned from this report. A lot of data from Biz Buy Sell and also our internal transactions. Average cash flow multiples rose to 2.41. That is the highest level in the period tracked. Restaurants also sold for 90.3% of asking price nationally. And in the South, where we're highly concentrated, that number reached 94.3%.
Wow, that's a big number. So buyers are not simply waiting for major discounts, they're purchasing smaller, more affordable businesses and paying strong multiples when those earnings support it.
Right. And listen, this is so important. We saw fewer casual browsers, right? But more committed buyers. So think about this. We had new buyer inquiries finishing the year, first half of the year, down 4%, but signed confidentiality agreement up 15.8%. So we are moving people at a different place in the funnel. And buyers who are searching, they're taking more meaningful steps towards that purchase.
Got it. So June appears to be demonstrating exactly what you're talking about, right? The softest month for new inquiries, yet it becomes the largest closing month of the year for us here at We Sell Restaurants.
Right. Although we're going to try to surpass it for July.
Let's do it.
All right. And buyers are being very clear about what they want. Roughly half of the 25 most popular listings each month were priced below $100,000 on our site.
So those listings attracting the most attention, sharing several qualities, affordably priced, fully equipped, ready to operate, turnkey, and supported by manageable occupancy costs. Good rent.
Yes, and so this is the thing though, this is not just first-time restaurant owners flocking to low-priced opportunities. Experienced operators were pursuing this space because they would rather convert an existing restaurant than spend months building a new location from the ground up.
Well, that certainly helps explain why interest in asset sales, as we say, increased every month during the first half of the year. And by the end of June, signed confidentiality agreements activity on those equipped asset sale opportunities reflected a 400% increase. That's not a typo, right?
No, that's 400%. But here's why, Rob. Listen, Construction economics are driving this. Non-residential construction costs, that means commercial construction, what restaurants are, has increased. The price of that activity increased 30% since 2020. And new restaurants can take more than 9 to 18 months to design, permit, build, and inspect.
Absolutely. So an existing restaurant may already include, right, the hood, the grease trap, refrigeration, HVAC, dining room, kitchen infrastructure, all of it. Buyers can acquire those assets at a fraction of the replacement costs and begin operating much sooner. We talk about it every week.
Every single week. And by the way, another finding, franchise resales, big story. They represented 28% of resale restaurant closings during the first quarter, 38% in the second quarter, 45% of the closings in
Wow.
June. That is a jump.
Yeah, wow, that's very interesting. More than double the franchise share of closings across all of 2025. Buyers seem to be choosing established brands because they offer the operating systems and training, the existing customers, vendor relationships, and all that support that a franchisor brings to the table.
Right. So in an uncertain economy, that structure can make a franchise business feels easier to evaluate, easier to finance. They can see an operating history instead of relying on projections for something new.
That makes sense. Also, a growing supply of franchise opportunities as longtime owners prepare to retire. We talk about that. A successful resale can preserve that location and protect royalty revenue for the brand and bring a motivated new operator into that existing franchise system.
So what does that mean for buyers and sellers? Because that's what it all boils down to. The restaurant resale market is not frozen. It's becoming more focused. Buyers are pursuing affordable businesses, realistic valuations, proven franchise systems, and existing space that reduce the cost and risk of opening.
Makes sense. For buyers, the market's offering the chance to acquire infrastructure and operating history that would be extremely expensive to recreate. And for sellers, success depends on accurate pricing, clear financial records, and presenting the business in a way that demonstrates value.
Also, maybe fewer casual shoppers, but serious buyers, they're active. When the right restaurant reaches the market at the right price, they are prepared to make a move.
That's all great insights, and your report is a lot longer and more detailed than that.
5,000 words.
Yeah, but it really does capture exactly what's happening, all over the country as far as restaurant sales go. So we'll get to our top listings right now. We're going to Colorado and Tennessee and here in Florida. We have a profitable Pueblo landmark with real estate, an established coffee franchise in a fast-growing market, and a longtime breakfast and lunch cafe listed for just $75,000.
Every opportunity is something different, right? Whether you're looking to own the property beneath your restaurant, join this recognized brands as we were discussing as a franchisee, or take over an established neighborhood cafe with manageable hours.
Right. So first up, let's go to listing 41724. It's in Pueblo, Colorado, and it's represented by Allison Gregory, our franchise partner there. This one is listed for $900,000.
Woo!
Yeah, it's an institution there. It's served that community for more than 40 years. It includes both the operating restaurant and the underlying real estate. So the business generates about $778,000 in annual sales and an owner benefit there of over $195,000. The 1,380 square foot property features a drive-through and commercial kitchen, seating for more than 35 guests, outdoor seating as well, and its own parking lot. The restaurant is also closed on Sundays, so a new owner could expand those hours, right, and take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was that thing we were just talking about, right? It's not new construction. You're taking over not only real estate, but also the business itself. Okay. Next up, we're going to talk about listing 41872. That's Wilson County, Tennessee, represented by Taylor Clemmer and listed for $199,000. Like that great looking picture of a cup of coffee on there. The established national coffee franchise generates around $800,000. Wow.
Yep.
Annual sales operates from a highly visible freestanding building along a corridor with 24,000 vehicles passing every day. It's fully equipped. Commercial espresso machines, refrigeration, freezers, ice machine. Buyer may also have the opportunity separately to negotiate the purchase of the building and underlying land. So then you've got even more potential long-term investment on the property.
And different loan opportunities too.
Yes.
So our third listing is 41817. It's in West Palm Beach, Florida. It's represented by Ken Eisenband, and this is the one that was listed for $75,000, or is. It's an established breakfast and lunch cafe. It's operated under the same ownership for a long time, quarter of a century, since 2001. It's approximately 1,100 square feet there. It generates 200,000 in annual sales and can seat 42 guests. Has a monthly rent there of 4,600, which isn't bad in West Palm. Operates daily from 7 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So limited hours, supported by a fully equipped kitchen, an experienced team there, and a location near residential communities, healthcare facilities, offices, and planned redevelopment.
All right, so we've got it all, right? Cash flow with real estate, recognized coffee franchise, established cafe with daytime hours, 3 very different paths to restaurant ownership. So visit WeSellRestaurants.com, select Get Complete Package to review the confidential details, financial information, and next step for any opportunity that interests you.
All right. So let's talk about some top insights this week for the sellers, and it ties directly into the trends that we were just talking about. We told you the markets has fewer casual shoppers, but more committed buyers, and that restaurants are commanding strong multiples when the earnings support that. This means sellers have something valuable working in their favor right now, and that is proof. The question is whether your listing actually shows it.
Right. So buyers, they're not just purchasing what you did last year. They're purchasing headwinds. Where are you going? The problem is many sellers go to market with numbers that stop at the end of last fiscal year. So the most strongest recent months never make it into the story. That's like selling a house in full bloom using the photos from the middle of winter when it's gray and ugly outside.
Yep, and it's the first question a buyer's going to ask. Can I see the year-to-date numbers? So keep that reporting current, have monthly sales available through the most recent full month, and if the summer is outperforming last summer, show that comparison side by side.
You just did this with a buyer.
Year over year.
For a pizza shop, up what, 8%? 12%?
8% for this time year over year, up in Massachusetts, actually. Remember, buyers today are signing confidentiality agreements and digging into the numbers. A business that is visibly improving gives them a reason to keep moving forward.
And listen, the story behind the numbers, that makes a difference as well. So if guest counts are up because, hey, you refreshed the menu, built a loyalty program, or changed something in bringing people to the business, say so. Documenting that strength when it is happening gives us, as your certified restaurant worker, powerful, timely material to work with. And in a selective market, that's what separates listings that sell from those that sit.
Right. Momentum is one of the few things the seller can't fake and a buyer can't ignore. June proved that serious buyers close when the numbers back the story. So if your restaurant is having a strong run, let's capture it and document it and let it work for you.
Of course, there's 2 sides to every deal, right? So if sellers are bringing momentum to the table, buyers need to know how to read it. So let's flip the script and talk about this week's top insight for buyers.
Yeah, it picks up on the biggest shift we covered at the top of the show. Buyer intent on equipped asset sale opportunities up, remember, 400%. Wow, this year. And it's easy to see why. Construction costs, as you say, are up nearly 30% in the last 6 years. New builds taking 9 to 18 months. Existing spaces can save you that time and that money, but buying a space is different from buying a business, and you need to evaluate it that way.
Absolutely. So in an asset sale, remember, for our listeners, you're not paying for cash flow. You're paying for infrastructure, the hood, the grease trap, the walk-in, the build-out. So ask yourself, what would it cost to recreate all of this from an empty shell? And if you're looking at 3 to 4 times the asking price, which is typically the case, that's real value.
Yeah. Then verify what actually transfers. Walk the space, confirm that the equipment works, and check the age of the big ticket items like the hood, the refrigeration systems. Licenses do not always convey automatically either. So something like a liquor license can be a major part of the value. Confirm exactly how that transfer is going to take place.
Right, and look hard at the lease because it's also often a very valuable asset in the deal. What's the rent? What is the remaining term? How will the landlord approve an assignment? A fully equipped kitchen doesn't help if you only control the space for a few months.
Yep, and finally, be honest about why the previous restaurant closed. If it was the operator or the concept, that's opportunity for a new buyer, right? If it was the location itself, no amount of equipment savings can fix that.
Right. You can never fix if there isn't a curb cut to get into the restaurant, right?
Right.
So do your homework, and an asset sale can be one of the smartest paths into restaurant ownership at a fraction of the cost of building new. And for proof of what happens when prepared buyers, they meet the right opportunity, look no further than our next segment. Let's celebrate this week's, oh, my favorite part, sold restaurants.
Yep, and let's highlight two successful restaurant sales that help first-time buyers both enter the industry. One buyer transitioned from a career in finance, while the other relocated from South Korea to bring a new concept right here to Florida.
All right, first we're going to Marietta, Georgia. Used to live there, know it well. Listing 35347, sold by certified restaurant burgers Jeff and Kim Height of We Sell Restaurants, Marietta and Cumming. The seller, he was a 63-unit restaurant operator, and he made the strategic decision to sell one location and focus on the rest of the portfolio. Great news, because it opened the door for a buyer from the finance industry who had always wanted to own a restaurant.
All right, worked out for both sides. The structure of that transaction gives the new owner a strong foundation, and the seller became the buyer's landlord, provided favorable lease terms, and agreed to assist during the transition. They also discussed the possibility of working together on another restaurant venture in the future. So maybe he picked up a partner as well.
There you go. Second sale, listing 27355 in Oviedo, Florida, sold by Certified Restaurant Burgers. Mother and daughter team, Deborah and Samantha Sawyer of We Sell Restaurants, Florida, Orlando. The interesting thing here, they had previously sold this restaurant, but when the owner later faced some unexpected health concerns and needed a timely exit, what did he do? Came back to the team. He already knew, who understood the business, the location, and potential.
Yeah. The buyer was relocating from South Korea and purchasing her first restaurant. She plans to bring her kimbap concept to the Oviedo market, and the existing restaurant space provides a faster path to opening than building out new from the ground up.
So we've got two first-time owners, right? Two sellers, very different reasons for moving forward from the deal, and two successful closings, creating new opportunities for everyone involved.
Right. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a restaurant, visit WeSellRestaurants.com to connect with a restaurant broker near you.
All right, and this week we're going to focus on two very different restaurant opportunities, hot new listings in Georgia and Missouri. Okay?
Yeah.
One combines nearly $1 million in annual sales with a large restaurant footprint and the real estate. Again, feels like a theme here. The other offers a fully built-out bar and grill with a liquor license for just $75,000.
And both provide valuable restaurant infrastructure without the expense and delays of starting from scratch. One's ideal for a buyer seeking an established operation and property ownership. The other gives an operator the flexibility to introduce a brand new concept in a ready-to-reopen space.
All right, so we're going to start with listing 41836, and I hope I'm saying it right, Toccoa, Georgia, represented by Robert Clausen, listed for $1,230,000. It's an established Asian restaurant that generates nearly $1 million in annual sales, includes a massive 7,000 square foot restaurant and real estate.
Wow.
Seats nearly 150 guests, has a dining room, a bar, service area, ample parking, so important, beer and wine service. Commercial kitchen, it's built to handle significant volume, 22-foot hood, that's a long hood. 2 grease traps, 3 fryers, 6 burner stoves, 6 woks, walk-in refrigeration, and extensive prep equipment. So, experienced team of 8 in place, so it could continue in the same manner as an Asian restaurant or be adapted for Indian, barbecue, American, or even a buffet style concept. The owner is retiring and will provide training to support the transition.
Next up, take a look at this listing, 41660 in Kansas City, Missouri. It's represented by Tony Maselli. This one's $75,000. It's closed. It's a second generation bar and grill, and it's approximately 3,000 square feet. Big space, can seat 85 guests, and it has that full liquor license. So the space includes a walk-in cooler and grease trap and prep tables, POS system, you got the security system there, the dining room is furnished, the utility infrastructure, all you need to reopen that place and get moving. It's turnkey. Monthly rent is under $4,000 and the current lease runs through July 29. The location offers strong visibility and approximately 35 parking spaces. No employees or existing concept to retain, so the buyer can relaunch the space as you name it, sports bar, neighborhood grill, pizza, burgers, whatever other food and beverage operation you can think of there.
Wow. Great opportunities.
Yeah.
Nearly $1 million in sales with real estate in Georgia. Fully built out bar and grill in Kansas City, just $75,000. These opportunities, they serve very different goals, but both give buyers a valuable head start.
Yeah, and they're both live right now at resellerestaurants.com. Select Get Complete Package on either listing to review the confidential details, connect with the broker, and learn more about the next steps.
All right, so we are going to shift gears and talk about our core values because they're encompassed in these testimonials that come in from our sellers and buyers. So just a few minutes ago, we featured the sale of listing 27355 in Oviedo, Florida, where a first-time buyer relocating from South Korea purchased her first restaurant. Well, she took the time to share her experience, and her review was so thoughtful and detailed that it deserves to be highlighted.
Yeah. Buying your first business can be intimidating. Completing that purchase from another country adds an entirely different level of complexity. Throughout the process, she worked with Samantha and Deborah of We Sell Restaurants Orlando. And here's what she said.
I was purchasing my very first restaurant in the United States while living in South Korea, and the entire process was completely new to me. But from the very beginning, Samantha was there for me every step of the way. She went on to explain that Samantha was patient, responsive, and committed to helping her understand every stage of the transaction, even when the closing became more complicated than expected.
Wow. So one part of the review especially stands out, right? She wrote, I never felt like I was just another transaction to her, Samantha. Even though I was far away in Korea, I always felt that I had someone in the United States who genuinely cared about me and my business and my future.
Wow, such great words,
Yeah.
right? That buyer is officially a restaurant owner and preparing a new chapter of her life in America. She thanked Samantha for her kindness, professionalism, patience, and support, said she could not have asked for a better person to guide her through her first business purchase in the United States.
Yeah, she's right. Samantha's wonderful.
Yes.
Apple didn't fall far from the tree because her mom, Deborah's wonderful too. Our second review comes from Vipul Patel, who worked with Brittany of We Sell Restaurants Northeast Florida, and he shared this. Brittany was an absolute delight to work with. My interests always came first, and she's very well connected in the field. The sale of my restaurant was quick and seamless. Thank you very much for all your help. You're an amazing person, and I truly appreciate all of your efforts.
I love these. I just love hearing these reviews.
Yeah.
They reflect two different sides of a restaurant transaction. We heard from one client purchasing their first restaurant, the other was selling a restaurant and needed a quick, seamless closing.
Yeah, that was great. Different circumstances, same result. Clients who felt supported, represented, and genuinely cared for throughout that process. That's the We Sell Restaurants standard.
All right. And the We Sell Restaurant standard, speaking of that, let's talk about the We Sell Restaurants franchise opportunity.
Yeah, we just wrapped up training this week, didn't
Yes,
we? For some
it's so
brand
much
new
fun.
franchisees. Right, a lot of work too. Everything we've talked about today, from committed buyers, signing confidentiality agreements, to franchise resales, hitting record level, points to one truth. The restaurant marketplace is active, and active markets need experts. Behind every one of those transactions is a professional who understands operations, financials, leases, and the details that carry a deal across the finish line. That is a certified restaurant broker.
We Sell Restaurants build a business model focused exclusively on the restaurant industry. Our franchise partners help owners prepare for a successful exit, guide buyers through the acquisition process, and support franchisors with restaurant resales. So when the industry is moving the way it is right now, oh wow, is that expertise in high demand?
Yeah. So for someone with restaurant experience, this could be a natural next chapter. You already understand food costs and labor and what it takes to keep the guests coming back. Now just imagine applying that knowledge in a professional brokerage business without having to manage a kitchen or order inventory or close down at midnight.
Yeah, we call this the restaurant business with banker's hours. You stay connected to the industry you love, but you have a different seat at the table, a schedule that gives you back your evenings, your weekends, and control over your own lifestyle.
And you're never starting alone. Franchise partners receive our certified restaurant broker training, proven processes, marketing resources, restaurant-specific technology, and a national network built entirely around restaurant transactions.
We're giving you the tools, right? The systems and the support. You bring the local relationships, market knowledge, and commitment to service. And together, that combination helps buyers and sellers move through a process that can otherwise feel overwhelming.
That's right. So if you're a restaurant owner, multi-unit operator, hospitality executive, or a business professional who wants to build something of your own in an industry that never stops moving, this may be the right fit that you've been looking for.
No kitchen, remember, no inventory, no food costs, no late nights, just a specialized business helping restaurant owners and buyers step confidently into their next chapter. Visit WeSellRestaurants.com/franchise to explore our franchise opportunity today.
All right, and finally talking about franchise resales like we do every week, but it was really underscored at the top of this show, right?
Right.
Yeah, so for the franchise brands out there who are tuning in, every franchise system eventually faces resales. Owners retire, relocate, decide it's time for a new chapter, all of that. With buyer interest now as strong as it is, and we've shown that, many of those conversations are happening sooner than brands expect. Question's not when the resales will happen, it's a question of are you ready when they do?
All right. So a resale, remember, that's touching far more than one operator. It's affecting the customers in the community, the employees who have worked there for years, royalty revenue for the brand standards, the strength of the market overall. Handled well, the location stays open, the seller moves forward, and the brand gains a new franchisee set up to succeed from day one.
And that's where We Sell Restaurants brings specialized expertise. Restaurants, that's all we sell, right? Our certified restaurant brokers understand operations, financials, leases, franchise requirements, transfer fees, every step involved in transferring an operating location.
We partner with the franchisor from the very beginning to understand buyer qualifications, approval requirements, training expectations, transfer fees, and timing. So that means the candidates we introduce, they're already aligned with these brands before they ever reach the development team.
Yeah, and of course, confidentiality matters too. A poorly managed sale creates uncertainty for employees, customers, vendors, landlords. Our process protects that operation while qualified buyers are identified and the transaction moves forward quietly and professionally.
For the franchisor, a structured resale program can reduce closures, protect royalty revenue, preserve market presence, and create a better experience for both the departing franchisee and the incoming operator.
It also keeps your internal team focused on growth instead of fielding every inquiry, confidentiality agreement, and financial review. You have a restaurant brokerage partner managing the process from start to finish.
Brands should remember this. Resales are not a program to react to or problem to react to. They're a natural part of the franchise life cycle. And managed correctly, they're an opportunity to make the system stronger with every transition.
So visit WeSellRestaurants.com and select 4 franchisors to learn how We Sell Restaurants can support your brand with a professional, restaurant-focused resale program.
All right, and obviously that program is working because we had so many franchise resales in the first half of the year.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that wraps up this week's top sales listings and franchise opportunities. Remember, if you're buying, selling, or exploring a career in restaurant brokerage, we would love to help.
Absolutely. Great deals move quickly, so click the link in the comments or visit WeSellRestaurants.com to learn more.
If you enjoyed today's show, hit that thumbs up button, share with someone interested in restaurant ownership.
And follow our page so you never miss a new listing. We'll be back next Friday with more updates.
Have a great weekend, and remember, our name says it all. We Sell Restaurants.